Today is Wednesday, September the 5th. We're on our way to the Peterborough Farmers Market. Both me and Chris like to get our food from the farmers market because it's the best way to eat. It's fresh, it's local, and it's right picked out of the ground. When you get your food from the grocery store, you have no idea how long it's taken from when it was taken from the ground to when it actually landed at your grocery store to on your plate. So going to your local farmers market is a fantastic way to eat even healthier. Let's find out if Chris has anything to say right now. Chris, you got anything to say to these people about the farmers market?
The best part about the farmers market is you got honest people and you can ask questions. So you'll end up knowing whether things have been sprayed and whatnot, you know, pesticide use, whether things are organic, whether even the seeds that are used. You can ask questions so you actually know what you're buying and purchasing.
Exactly, there. You heard it first. Farmers market. Toulouse, what do you have to say about the farmers market? Yeah? I agree. Nelly, do you like the farmers market? She's a little quiet. Because I'm making a video. Hey Janelle, you want to be in my video?
No.
Why not?
Okay, so today's idea is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you and can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. So before I go on any further, I just kind of want to give my little perception of this, and maybe you can give your perception, or we can just go on like that. So I'm upset because I see something that is not there. Now what we've been talking about is we end up getting upset because of the thoughts that we place on a certain situation. So we all perceive things differently. So two people could have the exact same experience and situation happen, but they both will end up having different thoughts and different perceptions about the situation. So I'm upset because I see something that is not there. In reality, your thoughts is basically not what the actual reality is, especially if it's upsetting you.
Sometimes I say to myself, you know, there's really nothing to worry about right now, and I start laughing because it's like, oh yeah, well, like, there's really no reason why I'm so worked up. I've done it to myself, and I think the text speaks great to that in the way that you have made the feelings bad by your thinking. So in my case, it was saying, hey, you really don't have anything to be anxious about, and it's like, oh yeah, and I can just relax. So that's what it gets at for me.
And I find like the more often you do that and you just kind of sit there and you just let the thoughts pass, well, that feeling goes away, that emotion or that upset ends up, that feeling that was enticing you to keep being like, oh, like creating more thoughts and whatnot, it disappears, especially when the thoughts disappear. So
yeah, and another thing you can always think of is that if there's anything bad going on in your life or a person's situation, that very situation is there to teach you something. It's even in the worst case, it's there to make you stronger. So there's always a glimpse of gratefulness that we can take out of any situation.
take the positive from it.
Well, you're going to vibrate at a better level too, right? So if you want a higher vibration, if you're in that negative state, you're tuning in around, like, say, 80.3 on the radio dial, whereas if you start thinking better, you're going to move up maybe 101.3, 102.3, and then you're going to attract higher vibrational things. So you're exactly right.
Oh, exactly, and that's what we need to learn about our world is that we are energy at the core. So yeah, so anything that we're feeling, so if an external situation ends up making us feel more negative and whatnot, then we are broadcasting that frequency, and that ends up coming into our reality. So when we have more control of ourselves internally, well, then we can maintain that frequency.
Like they say, you're saying in the law of attraction too, is if you look at it from a scale from like 0 to 10, if you're vibrating at like a 0, so I hate myself, I don't like myself, you can't just jump right to a 10. We were talking about this yesterday. You work your way up. You go from a 0 to a 1 to a 2, slightly better thought, and you work your way up gradually. So it doesn't, you just got to be committed to slowly working yourself up to those better feeling thought by thought, ladder by ladder.
Exactly. If you're really angry, you can't expect to be happy in a few seconds from now. Like that anger will then turn into frustration. That frustration will then turn into, say, a bit of irritability. The irritability might turn into a little bit of boredom. As you see, like, it continually gets a little bit better.
So are we going to take time to search ourselves for the things that are currently bothering us? Like scan the mind for the things that are on our mind that we're irritated by. So that's okay. So we're going to take a minute or whatever, try and figure out the things that are bothering us, and use these tactics to say, this is not who I am. This is not. These are just thoughts that are in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like we have to really go searching. It's only the things that are right there, because stuff will come up throughout the day, and then apply the lesson to it when it happens.
Yeah, so after we do this this activity, we go into a 10-minute meditation to reflect on what we've learned, and we encourage anyone watching this to do the same.
Holler.
Namaste, as they say. I don't even know what that means actually, but yeah.
I saw a video the other day where the guy's like laying on the ground in a yoga studio, and there's all these girls stretching, and it's like, namaste here. Because his boys asked him whether he wanted to go to the gym or not.
We gotta get some women here. You're too ugly for me. So today in the meditation, I was really, by the end of the 10 minutes, I was really able to see things as the observer. So I was able to see, I almost felt like this like ball of energy in the middle of the screen of my mind, so that black screen, and there was like a ball, and I could see how the ball is changing colors and being manipulated by my thoughts, but I was being able to be the observer of what was happening to me, so I could see, I can still feel the things going on in my body, but I was just observing them happen to me. And I've read a lot about that in books, but I'm finding the more I dedicate my time to meditation, the more I'm able to actually act and live as the observer. Slowly but surely. It takes practice, and you have to work it like a muscle. But that was the realization that I came to today.